Thank you for tuning in to the Beauty Boss Millionaire podcast with Felicia Fracassi. Her mission is to empower you with short, on-the-go business tips and advice to help you successfully start and run your company like a boss. And now, here's your host, Beauty Boss Millionaire, Felicia Fracassi.
Welcome back to Beauty Boss Millionaire. I'm your host, Felicia Fracassi. The objective of this episode is to help other entrepreneurs change their mindset to a CEO/investor's mindset, because you're going to need to change up the way you think and the way you handle things. One, this is now your new life. You're going to eat, sleep, and breathe whatever you're doing. I recently was speaking with another CEO of a multi-million-dollar company, and we were having drinks at this bar with my husband, and we were all there, and we were just talking about business, and he turned to me and said, "This is my life. My company is my life." And I looked at him and I'm just like, wow, I feel the same way. My company really is my life. And I think this is important to share with others, that this will become your life. This will become who you are. You will be known for this. You will be known as the blank person. I'm saying blank, you fill in the blank to whatever it is that you do. If you're a builder, or if you are an electrician, or if you are a hairdresser, a finance person, or a credit specialist, whatever that is, you are going to be known for it. That is going to be your life. Secondly, you want to make sure you're not looking for your weekly ration. I really want to rub it in and say your weekly ration on purpose, because that is what people call a weekly paycheck. That is your ration. That is horrible. We should not be living off rations. At least millionaires, they don't live off rations. So many people are worried about when am I going to get paid weekly, or what am I going to get bi-weekly, just to get by, this low mentality. And the reason why I am intentionally calling out this low mentality is to challenge you to rise your mentality, not to belittle anyone, but to make you really think you can do more than just a weekly ration, a weekly paycheck, or a bi-weekly, or even a monthly. You shouldn't be living month to month. You shouldn't be living week to week. It never was intended to be like that. There's been times where my husband and I have hired people, and they straight up tell us, there'll be workers that are like, "Look, I just need a daily pay." I'm like, "Okay, well, we usually do weekly. Is there a reason why you want a daily pay?" "Because I don't got no money. I don't have any money." I'm like, wow. I don't look down on anybody, but we have got to get ourselves to a better place than just worrying about a set ration. And I understand in the beginning it's hard, but there becomes a time in your life where there should be so much more saved up in your account, where you're not living paycheck to paycheck. That's never God's plan. It wasn't his intention. It's that the greed of this world has made it so hard for people to make a dollar nowadays. That's why you have to take matters into your own hands and create your own business to get it popping. And that's going to require a lot of sacrifices in the very beginning. There is a lot of risk for a while. That's why I encourage so many people who have a 9-to-5 job to either work their 9 to 5 by day and then their business by night, or just simply work their business that they want to eventually do part-time until it becomes a full-time hustle. Because sometimes transitioning can be too much for people, especially if you have a family. I was on this board a while ago in New York City, and me and this other entrepreneur, we got into this debate. Do the people just go cold turkey and just jump into entrepreneurship, or do they kind of slowly do it? Unless you are in a position where you are living with someone and you can kind of rely on them to pay for your items. But I started my business when I was married, and meaning that I had responsibilities to my family, which was to pay those bills. I think at the time, I don't know if my husband was working or somebody was out of work. I can't remember how it worked out, but I had responsibilities, and I'm one of those people, I like to make sure my bills are paid. So I couldn't just jump off into the deep end and be irresponsible and not have bills paid. So what I did is I did the responsible thing, and I wasn't a dreamer. I planned every single thing by night. I would come home at work at around 4 or 5 o'clock. I would eat dinner for probably 30 minutes or less. I would get some on the go back then. I was young, in my early 20s, grab a burger, get right to work on my business plan. My goal was to be out of my job soon, so I knew I had to put in those extra hours. And so many people aren't like that. They just think it's going to fall into their lap. They want to be famous YouTubers. They don't really want to do any work. I don't know what's going on. And this is probably why some people aren't going to be entrepreneurs, to be honest, because they're lazy. I'm calling people out. If you're up here on watching TV, "Oh, I can't give up my favorite show." Okay, your favorite show is not making you money. You making them money by watching those commercials. Or, "Oh, I got to go to this gala." Okay, well, who's getting that check at that gala? You paying for the money for the gala, or who's making that money? Who's collecting the check? That person's making money. It ain't me. So something's wrong. Or even on the weekend, some people want to go and do all these different things, party with their friends, spend all this money. I literally see people that won't invest in their business at all or themselves, but yet they'll go and blow $400 or $500 on a weekend or a few $100s every weekend on going to trips or going out of town or going on a vacation. But that vacation didn't make any money for you unless you're trying to go and scope out things. I always do kill two birds with one stone. If I'm ever traveling, I'm also looking for business opportunity. That's just me. Before I open up all my stores in Florida, I was constantly coming down to Florida. If you look in all my timelines, I was in Florida for years before I ended up opening up stores here because I had to study the people here. And of course, I had to go see Miami, check out the beach, all this other stuff. But my point is that, you should be constantly being wise and trying to figure out ways to advance yourself forward while you're still working your 9 to 5. And that requires a mentality change. You have to almost work the business by night. Also, one thing, don't be scared to invest in yourself. Invest in courses, buy more things for your business to give people more options and choices. Let's just say, for example, I know for a fact right now that if I buy 1 can of wax, which is at Sally's or Cosmoprof, that's like, it's $10. I know that 1 can of wax is going to make me about $500. That's honest to God. I know that. I can show you numbers. I can pull reports. 1 can of wax will make me $500 doing brow waxes at $10 a piece. Now, let's make it a little bit more difficult. If I spend $90,000 on this machine that is going to, let's just say, do a certain type of beauty procedure, but I know it's going to make me $500,000 to $700,000. The reason why I have a range is because I have a low cap and I have a high rate of what's the maximum amount by doing simple math. If I have 10 people coming a week times, $200-$300, I can figure out the math of what I would make in that lifespan of that machine. Now, the question is, would you do it, right? People say, okay, yeah, I will do it. Of course, $90,000, I'll make anywhere from $500,000 to $700,000. What if I told you that you may not make back what you spent? Are you willing to risk that? That's the question you have to ask yourself. And these are questions that you need to change your mentality. Some people will say, well, I don't know if I would do it. What if I lose the $90,000? Well, you know what? You got to think of creative ways. Okay, well, what about selling the product? If it doesn't work, can you resell it? What's the retail sale value for it? Things like that. So you have to be willing to take that risk. I could be buying Chanel bags all day. I always reference Chanel bags or Hermes bags because these bags are one of the highest top end brand bags and they're so expensive, $4,000 or $5,000, $15,000, $30,000 Birkin bags, all this stuff. But my point is that I see people save up their whole life income taxes for that one thing that just looks good to impress a few people. But yet they're living in places that are jacked up, or they're not even investing in themselves or their business or whatever it is that they need to invest in themselves. They're not doing it. And that's why I said there's a problem with the mentality of the people, and that must change. Also, if these are really helpful, please review, rate, and share, or just send the link to someone who may need this free business help. Do you have unwanted facial hair or underarm hair? Don't wax, don't tweeze. Stop in for Kasi Lashes and ask for laser hair removal. 6 sessions for only $200 for the lip or chin. Bikini and underarm only $300. For Kasi Lashes in the gray small, 225 lash. All technicians are laser certified and overseen by Dr. Gary's.
Welcome back to the Beauty Boss Millionaire podcast, packed with testimonies and business tips to help you create financial freedom through entrepreneurship.
Your mind needs to change to, what can I spend that will make me money? Now, obviously, if you're just having fun and leisure time, that's fine. Because I remember I dated this one guy on Wall Street, bless his heart. His name was Leviathan. Love him to death. We still talk. We're friends. But one time he was kind of going a little OCD because he's really, really smart. He's over a hedge fund. And he would ask that question to the point where he wouldn't buy regular things for himself. But he also had $4 million in the bank. He has asked himself this question so much that has actually ruined him. And I told him, I said, look, you still have to spend money on yourself. You have to get your basic needs met, because sometimes I find myself buying things for him. I'm like, babe, you have money. Like, why are you not buying this stuff? It doesn't make me money. I don't need to buy it new. I said, yeah, but you also have to make sure you're buying at least the basics to make your life run smoothly. I'm laughing about this because I remember one time we got in a huge argument about this because him being a person from Wall Street, they think money, money, money. And me being balanced, there's something called a balance in business where, yes, you have to think of money. Will it make you money? But at the same time, you want to think, you need your basic necessities. You shouldn't be going without toothpaste and soap and all these things that you need just because it doesn't make you money. Those are called self-care items, and please buy them. Please, I encourage you. I'm saying that because there are people out there where I see that they go to the extreme. So I'm not saying to do that. That's why I said, let me break that down real quick. Just give you a quick example of someone that could not do this mentality switch up. This person could have made a lot of money, but they didn't do it. And I felt bad for them because I'm a very giving person, and I really mean that. Anyone that's close around me, I like to always give back. I don't, when you have money, you're not really worried so much about it, especially if you're sowing those seeds and that investing in someone that has the potential to go far. There's people that do that. You'll see it all the time in the music industry. You'll see it all the time in angel investors. They see the potential in someone. They say, you know what, let me just give you some help. On the other end, you're going to actually hear now what happens when someone doesn't switch your mentality over. So I had met a young lady who seemed to be a nice person, very good at what she did, good at hair. Long story short, I was going to open up a salon. I don't really want to get into the details too much to not blow up her spot, because I don't want anyone to, make this person feel bad because, the time opportunity passed for them. But let me tell you what happened. I said, okay, I want to open up a business doing the same thing. It's funny because I was thinking about it. And then I just happened to meet her and she was like, well, I really wanted to do the same thing. I said, okay, well, let's do a business together. So she didn't unfortunately have the capital to put up, and she didn't have the money to invest in it. I said, well, let's not worry about the money. Let's do something instead where I will invest in the business, and then eventually you can just do like a payment plan where you just pay me back. We'll spread it out over however many years or whatever. So that was okay. What happens next is, because the mentality hadn't changed over. I remember not even a month in, well, I need a weekly paycheck is what she said. I said, wait a minute. What do you mean? I need a weekly pay. I just need to have a weekly paycheck. I need to have a weekly. I said, oh, okay. We did speak in the beginning. However hard we grind is what we take home. So some people are so used to getting their little ration, their little portion of food, that they can't think of and see the big picture. Meanwhile, she was turning clients away that were coming in the store, saying, oh, well, you don't have an appointment. Okay, well, the appointment is, this place is empty. Let's take these walk-ins. And what ended up happening was eventually she just couldn't get past the fact of having a weekly paycheck or even a monthly. It was like, and then I even said, okay, well, we can give you a set budget and then we'll work out something. But the whole point of me having this conversation is to let you know that you have to stop looking for that paycheck. Take off that safety jacket and begin to swim. The swimming part is the hustling part. You're going to have to move. Some action's going to happen. You can't just expect it to come to you. I would go by the salon. She'd be sitting in the chair on her phone, not motivated. And then there would be times where she was scared to upsell and ask people, okay, well, you can add on services. Hey, so many people would want a deep conditioning treatment, and you have to not be scared to offer those things, and investing in products. So it's just like the mentality really has to change for you to be successful. And even in people that do other things, let's just say it's not with the beauty business. Let's say it's with contractors. Sometimes you have to take a chance and hire people, because so many people are scared to hire someone because they think it's going to eat into their profits. But what they're not realizing is that if they actually hired people, they will be more efficient and that they can make more money because now there's more people available to cash out those people. Even with Walmart, I get mad at Walmart all the time, all those billions of dollars, but yet they put one cashier in the whole store. Then you got 20 people walking out leaving. That goes to show you there is an issue with staffing. There's an issue with the mentality. Why put this all on one worker? I know what they're doing. They're trying to save workers' wages by getting all those automated. But meanwhile, people are scanning stuff in Walmart, stealing stuff, and not scanning a bunch of stuff. So they're now dealing with theft in the store. They're losing revenue that way. So you don't want to be so cheap with your business that you're not investing in what you should properly invest in, and it ends up losing you money anyways. I see all the time in Walmart, people, Child Avenue, where you at? They scanning one thing, they putting two things in the cart they didn't scan. But if we had all those 10 cashiers, there'd be a lot less theft. Literally, there's seasons that you have to put more people on the floor. If you're a pool company and you know that you're going to be booming from May all the way until August, September, you need to hire more people just for that season. Or if you are someone that around school time, everyone's getting their hair done, back to school September, those are the months that you really want to bring more people on to help you. Maybe hire an assistant, pay them a certain amount of dollars per day. Why struggle and make people say, okay, I can't wait, I got to go? Because that's what happens. People are impatient. Nobody wants to wait nowadays. They just will leave your business and go find someone else that can do it. So again, the mindset has to change. Sometimes you have to release the money. You have to release the wages. You have to invest back in the company, invest in security cameras, invest in a whole lot of things for the operation to function. And that involves a changing of mentality. Don't be cheap with your business. That is your baby. That was a really good talk today, and I'm glad that we had that talk. Up next, we're going to be talking about ways to kind of make your business run a little bit more efficiently. You're enjoying The Beauty Boss Millionaire with Felicia Fracassi.
That's it for today. Tune in tomorrow for the Beauty Boss Millionaire podcast. And don't forget to follow the Beauty Boss Millionaire, Felicia Fracassi, on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok at Beauty Boss Millionaire.